All right. Good morning, everyone. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me okay. Can you guys confirm if you can hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today to learn about the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, or what they call OINP. um, Employer job offer streams that we have here in our province. I'm Angela Verzosa, and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I'm also an active member of the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants. Who's the official regulatory board that issues licenses for immigration consultants like me. So I'm also the owner and managing director of AV Immigration. And for today, just to give everyone a bit of a background, we'll use the first 25 minutes just to cover the OINP job offer streams, including the employer criteria to support an OINP applicant. And then we will use maybe about 5 minutes to answer some questions, and then we'll use the remaining 5 minutes to wrap up. Okay. We'll focus today on standard eligibility criteria, by the way. So this is just to provide information and overview, but if you want personalized discussion about your case, we can always have a schedule separate to discuss that. So we do offer free consultation at AV Immigration, so you can always reach out to us. Okay. All right. So just a quick intro about AV immigration. We do specialize in a variety of pathways to permanent residency. And our mission is really to provide clear guidance and tailored strategies to make your immigration goals a reality. So again, we mentioned this before, whether you're just beginning your immigration journey or you're navigating specific challenges, we're here to help you every step of the way. So if this is your first time joining our free webinar, to give everyone a bit of a context, again, I'm speaking to you today from the beautiful community of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, where our practice is proudly based. So for again those unfamiliar, we're located about a 7 hour north drive off Toronto, and just about 30 minutes from the international bridge I think connecting us to the Michigan state in the United States. Okay, so just some reminders, if everyone can place themselves on mute, we would appreciate that so we can avoid some distraction. Okay, thank you. Okay, so all right, so let's move on for our overview. The OINP job offer streams, these are designed to bridge Ontario's labor market needs by attracting skilled workers and also international talent. So these are the different streams that's included in the job offer stream for OINP, which we will go over one by one in a bit. So we have the international student stream, which is the first one. So this is specifically for recent graduates from eligible Canadian institutions with a valid job offer in Ontario. The second one is the foreign worker stream. So this one targets skilled workers from within or outside Canada with experience in eligible occupations, so covering tiers 0, 1, 2, and 3 occupation. And then the last one is the in-demand skills stream, where the focus is on workers with, again, job offers in high demand tiers 4 or 5 occupations. So each stream offers a unique route to permanent residency, and we'll explore these in great detail shortly. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with the OINP job offer international student stream. So we'll talk about the job offer requirement first. So key points for job offers, the job must be full-time and permanent. So meaning it's indeterminate. It can't be like a contract job offer. Yes, it's full-time, but then it has a date, it has an end date, meaning you'll be hired for maybe from now until like after for 2 years or a year. It can't be like that. It has to be indeterminate. Also, it has to be high skilled under tiers 0, 1, 2, or 3. And then the pay should be competitive wages based on the region. So meaning if you're not aware on how to calculate your to know if you're low, medium, median, or high wage employee, you can actually search that through the job bank. So there's a portion in the job bank website where you can look for wages. You just need the NOC or the specific job title that you have right now. You can type it in a box right there for search, and then it'll the website will actually show you how much is that specific position paying in certain location, in certain province for a specific city, and then it'll show you how much is the low wage, the median wage, and the high wage for that position. So in this case, for the international student stream, the requirement is it must be at least meeting the low wage level that's written in the website for job bank or higher. Okay, so applicant requirements. Here, again, the applicant must be a graduate of an eligible Canadian institution with at least 50% of studies completed in Canada. No prior work experience is required, which is great, but again, licensing is necessary for certain regulated occupations. Applicants also must demonstrate intent to live in Ontario and maintain legal status. And then, if you're a recent graduate in Ontario, this stream offers a fantastic opportunity to transition into the workforce and secure permanent residency. So, for this specific slide, I just want to highlight that there is a specific application period that's allowed for this specific stream. So, you must submit within 2 years of completing your educational program. So if you have completed a program, say in 2022, that specific program may no longer be applicable or qualified for this specific stream. Okay, so next one, overview for the OINP job offer foreign worker stream. Okay, so let's talk about the job offers again. Here, it's also required to have a full-time and permanent job offer. So similar to the international student stream, it needs to be permanent with no end date. Eligible occupation, still the same, has to be high skilled, within tiers 0, 1, 2, or 3. And then the key difference for this specific stream for foreign worker stream is the wage rate requirement. So in this case, you are required to have a wage rate of at least median wage rate or higher. So compared to the international student stream where, you know, you're only required to have at least low wage for that stream. So you can qualify to submit an expression of interest for this, okay? And then other requirements seem, you know, there must be an urgent need to the employer. So meaning they did their regular recruiting, hiring activities, and you know, no one else is qualified but you as a foreign national. And then definitely the work location must be in Ontario. So there are certain occupation where, you know, you are going to be hired in Ontario, but then you're required to execute the actual duties and responsibilities traveling elsewhere. So those specific occupation may require further review to determine if it's qualified because there is a strict requirement that the actual job location must be offered and also done in Ontario. So let's go with the applicant requirements. So here, at least 2 years of full-time work experience is required in the same NOC occupation as the job offer within the past 5 years. So it does not need to be always full time. It could be a combination of part-time hours. So in that case, it must be at least a total of 3,120 hours. So that's the total of 30 hours a week for 2 years total. So if it's part-time, you just need to make sure you meet the 3,120 hours to qualify for this. Also, any work experience obtained in the last 5 years is also qualified for this specific stream, which means, if you have a similar work that you have performed in within the past 5 years, and you have a job offer for a similar NOC. If you already have 2 years from the past 5 years, you don't even need to wait once you're hired in that current employer to gain an extra 2 more years. You can use the existing job offer and your past 2 years of work experience to qualify for you to submit an expression of interest under this stream. Okay. Um, and then also valid Ontario license, again, if required, is needed. So meaning if your work requires a license to be for you to work on it, you must have the licenses. Specifically, if you're a nurse, a registered nurse, it is a regulated profession. So you must have the license if you're going to be claiming that work experience here in Ontario. Okay. All right. So again, this stream, this is specifically ideal for individuals with skilled work experience, again, whether gained in Canada or abroad. So there's no need for you to wait for, again, gaining extra experience here in Canada to submit an EOI for as long as you already have that similar work experience gained in the last 5 years. Okay. Okay, so let's now move on to the in-demand skill stream. So here, the only requirement, again, it's still full-time and permanent, but then you only are required to gain at least 9 months of total work experience, which is, let me see. So I think that's equivalent to 1,560. Same, no end date on the contract, must be a permanent position. And eligible occupations must be part of the list that they have provided. So if you go to the OINP website, under the in-demand skill stream, it will actually list down all of the potential tiers 4 or 5 occupation that can participate to submit an expression of interest under this stream. So if you're working on a different tier 4 or 5 occupation, unfortunately, that's not going to qualify you. You have to make sure that it's part of the list. Also, when you go to the website, just be very careful when you're identifying whether your occupation is qualified or not. There's two different lists that you will be seeing when you go to the website. One list is again, any like tier 4 or 5 occupation that qualifies for this stream, regardless of the location that you are in. And then another list that immediately is shown after that list indicates any like the list of tiers 4 or 5 occupation that qualifies if you are working on those occupation and you are outside the GTA area. Okay, so that's, and then also here, similar to the foreign worker stream, just want to highlight that the requirement is also median wage or higher. Okay, just note also that because I know a lot of um, potential applicants are inquiring sometimes, what if we belong in a union and the wages are actually dictated based off the collective bargaining agreement that the company or the business has. So for cases like that, you are exempted from the low median measurement. You just need to make sure that you're able to obtain a copy of the collective agreement to support your application when you get the nomination of intent from Ontario later, when they are reviewing your application for the provincial nomination. Okay. For the work requirements, again, as mentioned in the previous slide, 9 months cumulative full-time paid work in Ontario, and then gained within the past 3 years. So, as compared to the foreign worker stream where they pre-qualify experiences gained or obtained in the last 5 years. With the in-demand skill stream, they are only going to look at your experiences when it's obtained in the last 3 years. So that's one of the key areas here. Um, so part-time equivalent would be for 18 months, 15 hours a week, 1,200, total of 9 months. Okay. Additional requirements, so same valid license, language skill, CLB for hire. I do want to let everyone know that for the OINP job offer stream, there are specific scoring factors available in the website as well. So one of that would be the language requirement. Although the minimum requirement to pre-qualify your CLB4, just note that you're not going to get extra points if you are at CLB4. The only time that you're going to get additional points for OINP expression of interest submission is if you are at CLB 7 or higher. Okay. For in-demand skill stream, there is a requirement for education, which is secondary or the equivalent of high school in Canada. So if you have accomplished your education abroad or outside Canada, you must have an ECA or what they call Educational Credential Assessment to one of the designated institution in Canada. So one of that would be the World Education Services or what they call WES, which is popularly being used by most of the applicants. And then, okay, so we'll go through the employer requirements quickly, and then I think we'll be able to wrap up, and then I can help answer questions. So for the mandatory requirements for the employer, so again, for all streams, employers must meet the specific criteria that you can see in your screen right now. They must operate in an active business for at least 3 years. They should maintain a premise in Ontario where you are going to work as an applicant, and they must ensure compliance with Ontario's employment laws. Okay. Other than that, there is also a revenue requirement. So if you are in the GTA area, your employer must have reported a minimum gross annual revenue of $1 million. And then for non-GTA based position, it would be at least $500,000. So if you're working with an employer, you have to ensure they meet these criteria before proceeding with your application. The best practice, again, that I can recommend is as soon as you think you are qualified for one of the OINP job offer stream, you have to have that conversation with your employer already, so they're aware of your intent to gain their support, and also ask about these information to just confirm if they are indeed qualified to give you support for your application. Okay. Also, don't forget about the full-time employee requirement. So if you're inside the GTA, your employer must at least have 5 full-time employees that are Canadians or citizen or PRs or permanent residents. And then outside, at least 3 full-time employees that are citizens or permanent residents. For the recruitment effort, again, there's no specific requirement as to how many methods of recruiting platform is employer required to do for OINP. However, I recommend at least two recruitment methods. Examples would include posting and say on job bank, some employment websites, or maybe attending job fairs. These methods help ensure that again you're reaching the employer is reaching a broad pool of local candidates, and then ties again for a minimum of at least 4 weeks. Again, this is not an actual requirement, but I recommend. Um, and then including all of the job details. So the ad must clearly include the job title, the duties, required skills, and wage. So this transparency would ensure potential applicants for sure understand what the position entails. So these information would help your employer make sure that, if they are being asked to provide documentation for their recruitment efforts, they can look at the previous job posting that they did before hiring you, just so they can have those information ready in case they're asked to provide some information around it. Okay. Um, Here, there's one note that I have included like at the bottom of the slide. So for the recruitment efforts, any recruitment by an immigration rep is not considered reasonable. So just keep that in mind. Because there's a potential conflict of interest in there. So I do not recommend including that as part of the recruiting efforts when being asked by OINP for more information. Okay. Next steps. Okay, so what are the next steps? Okay, so if you're interested in any of these streams, I suggest beginning to prepare any of your credential assessments, language tests. Make sure you have your employer letters. And again, the most important one, gain your employer support and ensure that they are qualified. You can also feel free to contact us at AV Immigration for personalized guidance and support throughout your immigration journey in case you need one. Just a reminder as well that, when you're submitting an expression of interest or submitting a PR or permanent resident application, an assistance of an immigration consultant is not required at all. It is based on your preference and personal needs. However, if you need one, we are always here to help and guide you along your way. Okay, so let me see. All right, so this one, just a quick information about some of the services that we offer. So we do pride ourselves on being your trusted partner in the immigration journey. So we're licensed. We do tailor our solutions based on your needs. And we're very transparent and reliable. So you can always trust us to provide you clear communication and honest advice. And if you're considering any of the streams that we have discussed today, we are very happy and open to help you out. Okay. Okay, so before I take in questions, I'd like to first thank everyone for your time in joining today. So I hope this webinar has given you some valuable insights on how you can prepare for this exciting opportunity. So we can start with questions. Let me just look at actually the chat first and see if there's anything in there. Okay, I don't believe there are any questions. Um, okay. So any just want to double check before we wrap up for today. Any other, okay, can you briefly discuss master's graduate stream? Okay. So the master's graduate stream, Janelle, we can specifically discuss that maybe on we're planning on a different webinar for it. But if you're interested in finding out about that specifically for yourself, you can connect with us. So we can have a conversation and we can explore that further. However, just to let everyone know, we'll have some additional learning sessions next month that we're preparing to release. So hopefully we can talk more about that in those sessions. Okay. But for today, for OINP, Again, if we don't have any other questions, I would, the replay was okay. So the replay, we are going to post it later today. We will have it posted in our Facebook site. So if you're interested to see it again, it will be posted later on today. Okay. All right. So next week we're gonna have another webinar, which is our final webinar for this month, and it's gonna talk about the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program, or what they call AAIP, so targeting Alberta province this time. So yes, we do offer free consultation for any discussion related to permanent residency pathways. We can help you out in identifying any streams that would potentially fit your profile and also answer any of your questions. Okay, so the Facebook website that we have is AV Immigration and Visa Services Incorporated, so you can look us up. It was mentioned earlier, there's a revenue requirement for employers. Does this stream also apply to someone working in a nonprofit organization or in government provincial offices? Okay, so for the revenue requirements, so unfortunately, so again, Phoebe, whether regardless of the field of industry that your business is in or your employer's business is in, the revenue requirement is non-negotiable. So it has to be something an employer that would report a revenue. So in this case, if for nonprofit, if they really don't operate with a goal for an income or a profit for the year, unfortunately, their support may not qualify for OINP at this point. Okay. Another question. I have completed my studies 2023. Can I still apply for international graduate stream? I have full-time job offer. Can I apply? Okay, so if you've completed your studies in 2023, again, earlier on we said that you have to have, you need to make sure that you have you will use a credential within 2 years of completion. Okay, so with OINP, it's very strict. It's not just, 2 years. Within 2 years, you need to submit your expression of interest, but they require you to be able to submit your expression of interest, be selected, and be able to submit your full application within that 2 years. Okay. So now, depending on when you finished MENA, so if, say, for example, you completed by fall, maybe you will still be able to make it based on the timeline. I will not discourage you from still creating an expression of interest because, again, there's a lot of variability. As you guys know, this year we haven't gotten any draws yet. So if you're qualified, go ahead and submit and see if how the process would go from there. Okay. So if we took master's here in Canada, is ECA still required for our bachelor's? No, because usually you are required to get an ECA for the credential that you will use as a basis in your application. So in this case, Janelle, if you're using your master's degree, then whatever credential, diploma, transcript, completion letter that you have from the local Canadian institution or education institution would suffice. Okay. All right. Okay. Awesome questions there, everyone. So again, I will go ahead and proceed with a wrap up today. So again, do not hesitate to reach out to AV Immigration for any additional support. So just like what I said, we do offer free consultation and, we're always available to help. And then we appreciate everyone's time in joining in today's webinar, and we hope to see you again in our future webinar session. Thank you so much for attending today, and hope everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you.